Our ancient sages proclaimed that you can float on air, walk on water, even conquer the entire world. Yet, they insisted that understanding the intricate workings of your own mind is a task far more difficult than all these feats combined. Have you ever noticed how your mind seems to actively sabotage your best intentions? You vow to quit a bad habit, perhaps smoking, with unwavering resolve, yet moments later, your mind subtly pulls you back, compelling you to succumb. This isn't just about cigarettes. It applies to countless habits and actions in our lives that we desperately want to change, but find ourselves powerless to overcome. What if the secret to breaking free from these self-defeating patterns, to truly mastering your habits and sculpting your ideal life, lies not in brute willpower, but in a radical shift in perspective, becoming a detached observer, a witness to the subtle dance of your own thoughts? Today, we journey into a profound Buddhist parable that reveals the ultimate strategy for understanding and transforming your restless mind. We'll witness a sincere disciple's struggle with inner chaos and his master's revolutionary teaching on how to become a witness to your own thoughts. This isn't just a story about ancient wisdom, it's a direct, transformative guide for anyone yearning to break free from destructive habits, cultivate inner peace, and unlock boundless self-mastery. Prepare to discover how seeing your mind's subtle tricks from a distance can empower you to conquer its chaos and shape your destiny. Chapter 1. The Restless King's Plea, a Mind Undone by Abundance. Once upon a time, in ancient India, there lived a powerful and wealthy king. He commanded immense riches, held sway over vast lands, and was renowned for his fame and influence. He had, it seemed, every luxury one could possibly desire. Yet, despite this outward abundance, the king was plagued by an insidious inner torment. He always felt tired, perpetually frustrated, and deeply upset. His mind was relentlessly restless, a turbulent sea of thoughts and anxieties that robbed him of any genuine peace. The very things he possessed seemed to contribute to his agitation. Driven by this profound inner turmoil, the king sought solace from a famous Buddhist monk who lived deep in the quiet forest, far from the noise and distractions of the world. This monk was renowned throughout India for his profound meditative practices and his radiant inner calm. The king approached the monk, his regal bearing humbled by his inner suffering. "Respected monk," the king began, his voice heavy with weariness, "I always feel tired, frustrated, and deeply upset. My mind is constantly restless. Even though I have everything, vast wealth, immense fame, and all the luxuries one could desire, there is still no genuine inner peace within me. Oh monk, please help me to get rid of this restless mind. Show me the path to serenity." The monk, with a compassionate gaze, listened patiently to the king's heartfelt plea. He understood that the king's suffering, dukkha, was not from material lack, but from the relentless churning of his own mind, fueled by unexamined habits and attachments. "My friend," the monk said, his voice calm and clear, "you already hold the answer within you, but you have never truly discovered it. I wish to do an experiment with you, a simple practice that will reveal this truth. Would you like to do that experiment? I assure you, after this experiment, there will be no unrest and worry in your life." The king, though initially somewhat skeptical, was desperate for relief. He was willing to try anything. "I am ready to do anything for my peace of mind," he declared, his royal authority momentarily set aside in his quest for inner tranquility. The monk smiled, his eyes twinkling with profound wisdom. Then, he replied in a calm voice, "For the next 15 days, you will stay in my monastery. You will live like a normal person, shedding your royal duties and external comforts. And for these 15 days, you will sit alone in silence and speak as little as possible. You must commit to this profound silence." The king, desperate for peace, readily agreed to the monk's seemingly simple, yet profoundly challenging, plan. Buddhist insight. This opening establishes the king's deep dukkha, suffering, stemming from his restless mind, which is a direct result of avidya, ignorance, about its true nature, and tanha, craving for stillness without understanding the process. His yearning for inner peace is a common human desire. The monk's response, "You already hold the answer," is a classic upaya, skillful means, turning the king's attention inward and setting up an experiential learning process. The experiment of silence challenges the king's habitual patterns and directly addresses the roots of his restlessness. Chapter 2. The transformative power of silence, from restlessness to deep peace. On the first day of his experiment, the king discovered that his mind, accustomed to constant chatter and activity, was even more restless than usual. A relentless stream of questions, concerns, and unbidden thoughts kept popping up, creating a palpable sense of unease. Stripped of his royal duties and external distractions, he felt profoundly uncomfortable living a simple life like everyone else. Yearning for his familiar routine, he really wanted to talk, to command, to fill the silence, but he heroically resisted the urge, staying completely silent, simply sitting quietly as instructed. As the first day wore on, he couldn't understand why this forced silence was so difficult, why his inner world felt so chaotic without the usual external stimuli. But as the night fell, and the profound stillness of the monastery deepened, he began to feel an unexpected sense of calm. A subtle, almost imperceptible, happiness began to settle within him. This initial experience puzzled him deeply, as he couldn't grasp why his familiar restlessness was gradually fading away in the absence of external pleasure or activity. The next day, driven by this nascent shift, the king continued to spend his time in solitude, observing his inner state and the world around him. He found himself watching nature with a newfound appreciation, the delicate dance of flowers, the silent growth of plants, the graceful flight of birds in the sky. For the very first time, he truly appreciated the subtle beauty of nature surrounding him. Seeing details he had always overlooked, he could observe and connect with the natural world all around him with a clarity he had never known. 10 days went by in this manner, each day a step deeper into the practice of silence and mindful observation. All the inner restlessness and chaos that had plagued his mind for years gradually vanished, like mud slowly settling in a disturbed lake. On the 12th day, a profound shift occurred. He found himself effortlessly entering into deep meditation. As his eyes closed on their own, guided by an inner stillness, he entered into a profound state of meditative absorption, and his mind became utterly free from worry, from agitation, from the tyranny of ceaseless thoughts. The king experienced a profound, unparalleled inner peace. After spending the last 3 days in this deep, blissful meditation, completely immersed in inner tranquility, he approached the Buddhist monk, his face radiating a newfound serenity. "Respected monk," he said, his voice now calm and clear, filled with profound gratitude, "I have discovered why my mind was so troubled. I have found the very reason for my distracted and agitated mind." The monk, with a compassionate smile, asked, "Please share with me what you've learned, my friend." Buddhist insight. This phase demonstrates the power of samatha, calm abiding, meditation. Cultivated through right mindfulness, samma sati, and right effort, samma vayama, in practicing silence. The king's initial restlessness reflects uddhacca kukuka, restlessness and remorse, one of the 5 hindrances. His gradual calming and appreciation of nature symbolize the mind's inherent capacity to settle and find clarity when external distractions and internal stirring are reduced. The automatic entry into deep meditation on the 12th day highlights that deep concentration, samadhi, is a natural outcome of sustained mindfulness and non-striving. His experience of profound inner peace signifies a temporary cessation of dukkha through mental purification. Chapter 3. The King's Revelation, the true cost of excessive speech and negative thinking. The king, now enlightened by his own direct experience, eagerly shared his profound realization with the monk. "As I figured out the reason for my distracted and troubled mind," he began, "I realized that I used to talk too much and spend an immense amount of energy on people, often thinking negatively about them. This excessive talking, especially when fueled by negative thinking and judgment about others, wasted my precious time, drained my energy, and fundamentally disturbed my mind." He continued, connecting his inner state to his external failures. "As a direct result of this restless mind and unskillful behavior, I couldn't perform my tasks effectively, either as a ruler or as an individual. I started failing in almost everything I attempted. These continuous failures, in turn, made me even more unhappy and easily annoyed, creating a vicious cycle that continued to negatively impact my life. However, the king concluded, his voice filled with the quiet triumph of discovery. These 15 days in your monastery were a truly transformative experience. Now I feel like I'm truly living life to its fullest, authentically and deeply. And I realized that before this, I was living it the wrong way, trapped in a self-made prison of my own incessant mental chatter and negativity. I also realized that we don't have to force meditation, it happens naturally, effortlessly, when we create the right conditions. The Buddhist monk nodded, confirming the king's insights. He mentioned that it's not just the king, but many people in the world, even today, talk too much. This excessive talking, especially when driven by ego, anger, or ignorance, is still causing immense problems in their lives, leading to conflict, misunderstanding, and profound restlessness. The monk then eloquently explained to the king the profound importance of being silent. Echoing the Buddha's own teachings, he shared a story about a student who once asked Gautama Buddha why he was silent so often. Buddha had replied, "I stay silent to dive deep within myself." Silence is the first step to truly knowing yourself. Without silence, self-discovery is impossible. So, the monk emphasized, drawing a practical conclusion, the first step is to be silent. Only speak when necessary. And you'll see that most of our talking, about 90%, is actually harmful or unnecessary. It would have been far better if people didn't talk too much. It could have reduced about 90% of the problems in the world. When people become quieter, there are fewer fights, less restlessness, and significantly less arguing. If both individuals learn to stay silent in moments of tension, many problems in the world could be avoided. The monk further elaborated on the benefits. Someone who truly understands the value of silence can be at peace even in a crowded place. Being alone, truly alone with oneself, can be like heaven, a profound sanctuary. Conversely, the constant company of others can sometimes make us feel profoundly uncomfortable, restless, or agitated if we lack inner stillness. Therefore, it's paramount to start by finding peace within yourself and embracing silence. Allowing your inner energy to flow freely and harmoniously. Invite your thoughts to settle down. If you wake up and feel disturbed by the very presence of others, it's a good idea to close your eyes. Take a deep breath, and reconnect with your inner self. You'll find a sense of freshness inside yourself, a wellspring of renewal, because that's where your life originates. It's not dependent on anyone else. It comes from the same boundless source as you. When no one else can take you within, you must go there yourself. So, look inward, because you are the ultimate ruler of your inner world. That's where life truly begins. And that's where happiness is born. Buddhist insight. The king's revelation validates the Buddha's initial teaching on the two silences from previous stories, and the principle of right speech, samavaka. His recognition that excessive talking and negative thinking wasted my time and made my mind disturbed directly links unskillful speech to dukkha, suffering, and akusala karma. His insight that family is the biggest obstacle from the previous seeker of freedom story was a selfish misinterpretation, corrected by the deeper understanding that the biggest obstacle is myself. The monk's further elaboration highlights the role of silence in self-discovery, accessing inner energy, and reducing conflict, aligning with right mindfulness, samasati, and right concentration, samasamadhi. It reinforces that inner peace leads to outer harmony. Chapter 4. The Fruits of Silence, Success, Respect, and Inner Harmony. The monk continued, detailing the profound and far-reaching benefits of cultivating silence and mindful speech. When you look inside yourself, you'll encounter the depths of life and even touch upon the profound notion of death. This inner journey is like watching your own life go through ups and downs. Like the sun rising and setting, a continuous, natural cycle. Every time you take this inner journey and come back, you'll feel refreshed, renewed. It's like you feel cool and invigorated after a nice, cleansing bath. This is where you find the richness of life, where you gain new strength, and where tiredness, sadness, and worry magically disappear, leaving you feeling as refreshed as a cool body after a bath. In the same way, when someone takes time to be quiet and reflect on their thoughts, they often feel more peaceful and happy afterward. When you truly connect with your inner self, you'll find that talking doesn't automatically make your mind feel upset. Instead, there's a constant feeling of calmness inside you. a deep wellspring of serenity. You can talk and still remain profoundly connected to your inner self. You can use words without breaking your inner peace. When you do this, your words will acquire a beautiful quality, like music, resonating with harmony and wisdom, and everything around you will feel more balanced. Speaking this way will touch others deeply, inspiring them and fostering genuine connection. The monk then connected this inner transformation to outer success. Friends, you might have noticed that talking too much doesn't bring peace to the mind. It makes it hard to control our thoughts and to stay focused. People who talk excessively find it difficult to concentrate on one task because their minds are constantly agitated. Because of this, they can't give their full attention to their goals and often miss out on understanding the true meaning of life, making it more difficult to attain their desired success. Furthermore, you may have noticed that those who talk too much are sometimes mocked by others, their words losing weight due to their sheer volume. In contrast, those who speak less, who carefully consider their words, and who stand by what they say, will consistently earn respect from others, because people tend to pay more attention to what someone says and trust their words more deeply. However, a person with a troubled mind, plagued by inner chaos, typically finds it hard to succeed because they lack genuine interest and focus in their work. True intelligence lies in knowing when, where, and what to say, and those who develop this skill tend to succeed in various situations. A person who speaks less often becomes the center of attention and tends to succeed in various pursuits, as their words carry weight and wisdom. When we observe the qualities of great individuals throughout history, we find that they use few words, carefully considering what they say, and this directly contributes to their success. In contrast, there are many who talk excessively, often resorting to dishonesty and spreading negativity about others, which can severely harm relationships and reputations. That's why the people close to them often try to avoid and stay away from them. Seeking peace elsewhere. In ancient texts from different cultures, they often talk about how our words directly reflect our beliefs and values. The monk concluded, bringing it all back to personal practice, being quiet helps us become patient, which in turn makes us more aware. Meditating can help us understand ourselves better. So, my friends, I suggest you spend at least 20 minutes alone in solitude every day. This simple act of inner connection can bring so much profound positive change in your life. Buddhist insight. This section details the fruits of silence and right speech, Samma Vaka. It explains how inner quietude leads to outer success and respect, demonstrating the interconnectedness of sila, ethical conduct, and samadhi, mental discipline. The ability to speak without breaking inner peace signifies mastery of the mind. The contrast between excessive talkers, lack of focus, negativity, and mindful speakers, wisdom, success, provides practical evidence for the Dhamma's principles. The recommendation of 20 minutes of solitude is a tangible application of right mindfulness, samma sati, and meditation, bhavana, enabling self-discovery and inner clarity. Conclusion. The unfolding symphony of your silent wisdom. The timeless Zen parable of the restless king and the transformative power of silence offers us a revolutionary understanding of true peace, profound wisdom, and lasting success. It challenges our ingrained habits of constant external engagement and impulsive reaction, revealing that the ultimate power lies in mastering our inner world through conscious stillness. True serenity, as the Buddha revealed through the monk's wisdom, blossoms not in the noise of the world, but in the profound, discerning quietude of a mindful heart. Key learnings for your personal Buddha story. The mind as the source of restlessness. Our inner turmoil often stems from unexamined thoughts, excessive chatter, and the constant pursuit of external stimuli, rather than external circumstances alone. Application. Recognize when your mind is agitated. Instead of seeking external distractions, turn inward. Understand that your thoughts are impermanent, like clouds passing by. Silence is a transformative practice. Deliberate silence is not merely the absence of speech. It's an active practice that calms the mind, deepens self-awareness, and cultivates inner peace. It allows the mud of thoughts to settle. Application. Integrate periods of solitude and silence, even just 5 to 10 minutes initially, into your daily routine. Use this time for mindful breathing and observing your thoughts without engaging them. This builds your capacity for inner stillness, Become a detached witness, Sakshi. You are not your thoughts or emotions. You are the pure awareness that observes them. When you detach from them, they lose their power to disturb you. Application. Practice simply watching your thoughts and feelings as they arise and pass. Like clouds in the sky. Avoid judging them or getting lost in their stories. This strengthens your witnessing consciousness. Emotions are transient. Anicca, all emotions, happiness, sadness, anger, hatred, are impermanent. Clinging to positive ones or resisting negative ones creates suffering. Application. When strong emotions arise, acknowledge their presence without immediately reacting. Remember they will pass. This acceptance allows emotions to flow through you without taking root as suffering. Right speech, samavaka, is paramount. The Buddhist teaching emphasizes speaking only when necessary. With kindness, truth, and benefit. Excessive, unskillful speech drains energy and creates problems. Application. Before you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it beneficial? Choose your words carefully. The quality of your speech reflects the quality of your mind. Inner peace fuels outer success. A calm, focused mind, cultivated through silence and meditation, is the foundation for effective action, better concentration, and greater success in all endeavors. Application. Prioritize your inner well-being. Understand that investing time in cultivating mental tranquility will directly enhance your productivity, creativity, and resilience in your outer life. Self-discovery through introspection. Silence is the first step to truly knowing yourself. It provides the space to observe your thoughts, emotions, and true nature without external interference. Application. Make introspection a regular practice. Go within to reconnect with your authentic self, your inner source of energy and life. This journey inward leads to boundless peace and self-mastery. The Buddha's profound wisdom, beautifully illuminated by this parable, invites us to embark on a transformative journey, from being slaves to external noise and uncontrolled words, to becoming masters of our own minds through the discerning, liberating power of inner silence. This is the essence of your authentic Buddha story. Thank you for watching, and may you always carry the profound peace and illuminating wisdom of these stories within your heart. Join our growing community by liking this video and subscribing to Buddha Story, where ancient wisdom beautifully meets modern mindfulness. How will you cultivate the power of silence in your own life this week to achieve deeper peace and clarity? Share your reflections and experiences in the comments below. Until our next encounter, may your path be filled with profound peace, deep understanding, and the radiant light of your own awakening.